All right. So thank you for coming. So this is a meeting for guiding you through the Robotics Dojo competition. So my name is Shohei Aoki from Africa Japan project. And first of all, let me introduce the organizers of Robotics Dojo program. So there are some members from JQuat, like Dr. Denis Kaburu from SKIT, Dr. Jackson Jiri from Mechatronics, Mr. John Kimoto from SKIT, Mr. Oteri Omae from Telecommunication, Dr. Anderu from SKIT, and Mr. Oro from Electrical. So they are the one who is preparing the competition, okay, and also the training. All right, so I think this meeting is very brief to summarize what you're supposed to do in the competition, okay? So this is the date of the competition. So it's already changed. So as we announced this program through the pamphlet or brochures, I think we have listed 11th and the 12th, but we have postponed it for 1 week. So there are 2 dates, like on 18th October 2022 on Tuesday, it will be the first round. So as I explained later, there will be 11 teams participating in the competition. Okay, so all of them are going to join the first round. So it will be held in the afternoon on 18th. And on the next day, on 19th, Wednesday, there will be a championship. So we are going to invite the guest, vice chancellor, and so it will be a big event. So we only invite 4 teams, the top 4 teams, which have performed well in the first round the day before. So it will be held in the afternoon also. And so these are the teams. So there are 11 teams and 42 students in total. So all of them are from JQuat and PAUSTI. Okay. So this information is already listed on our website, so you can check it out. Now, I have already indicated the tasks of the competition. So this is what you're supposed to do. So there are 4 tasks, namely line following, obstacle avoidance, pause and resume, and a pick and place. So you're supposed to work on it. And the detail is being fixed. So meaning the regulation for each task is still to be confirmed. But we can start the fabricating and designing the fabricating our robots as we prepare or as we fix this the concrete tasks. Okay, so maybe as for those who don't know what is line following, so there will be a track. Just a moment, please. Yeah, let me just a moment, please. Okay. So kindly mute during the meeting, unless you have any questions. Okay. Okay. So let me continue. So the line following, meaning there will be black lines like this. So your robot is supposed to follow on the line. Then, so basically, as I'm going to explain it later. So this robot is fully autonomous. Okay, so there will be no communication on your end, on your computer and the robot. So robot must be performing autonomously. Okay, on board. In other sense. So basically there will be lines so that your robot will be guided. But for some areas, like for example, for the obstacle avoidance area, your robot must be diverted from the black lines. But you need to recover your robot so that it will get back to the black line. And here, yes, I think I just pause and resume. So basically, we are going to count how many seconds your robot is going to stop. So the regulation for now is to stop 3 seconds. Okay. So your robot must halt for 3 seconds, then resume the activity. Then in the final area, so this is area which I am configuring or adjusting because of the difficulty. So initially I was expecting to use Raspberry Pi for image detection, like a computer vision, but I realized it is too much difficult and complicated. So I removed these functions, and instead of using a computer vision, I came up with an idea to use a color sensor so that it can detect the the color of the floor. So what is expected is that there are several objects, colored objects, like red object, yellow object, green object, blue object. So your robot is supposed to bring this target object to the target area. Okay, so the blue one is to be brought to blue, yellow to be yellow, red for red, and green for green. Okay, for now, I'm having 4 colors, but it might be reduced like RGB, red, green, and blue. So that is to be confirmed. But I hope you get the basic idea. Then once you finalize these tasks, your robot must go to the goal. Okay, so these are the tasks. Let me proceed. So I'm expecting that your battlefield will be large, like let's say 4 meter times 3 meter. Okay, so this is a photo taken from the competition held in Japan. So I am referring to this competition named the ET Robocon in Japan. So basically there is a black line, and this is a robot which is following the track. So in the ET Robocon in Japan, they are basically using a Lego Mindstorm or EV3, which is a kind of a kit. But in this robot competition, you can utilize existing kit or custom made or your original design robot. And of course, there are some technical evaluation. And if you use the existing kit, your technical score will be evaluated as low. But if you design your original robot, because of this creativity, your score will be evaluated as high. So this is it. But it's up to you. Okay, so this is a tentative regulation. So as I mentioned, you can either use kit or custom made, but the custom made is highly appreciated. And the number of wheels is unlimited because of some people may want to use a kind of, how to call it? Is it caterpillar? It's, yeah, you know, how to call it? Like excavator, you know? So there are many wheels. But the number of motors are limited, so you can only use 4 motors at maximum. And the dimension of the robot must be limited, less than 30 centimeter, 30 centimeter, and 30 centimeter. Okay. And the weight should be less than 2 kg, 2 kilogram. And control board, I highly recommend you to use Arduino compatible boards, like Arduino Uno, Mega, Due, also ESP32, something like that. Initially, I wanted to allow you to use the Raspberry Pi boards, but because of this complexity, I don't recommend you to use Raspberry Pi unless you have any special reason. So because I'm designing this challenge so that Arduino can achieve the objectives or tasks. Okay, so basically, you are not expected to use a Raspberry Pi, but it's up to you. You can use it if you want. And operation should be fully autonomous, as I mentioned. So you can't control or you can't remote control your robot, okay, using a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So operation must be done on board, fully autonomous. And so evaluation. So there are 2 aspects. The first aspect is the competition score. So definitely, if your robot achieves all the tasks within the shorter time, it will be highly evaluated. So the first criteria is time required to complete the challenge. And then, as you see, there are several challenges, okay, like a line following and obstacle avoidance and stop and go and pick and place. So definitely there will be a gradation of how you achieve each challenges. So that some technical score will be added depending on how you achieved, how much you achieved each task. And other aspect is a technical score or kind of a paper score. So you're supposed to make a very brief presentation for the referees. So just 2 or 3 or 5 slides to explain your robot. What kind of idea you have embedded on your robot, or what's your advantage, something like that. So we are inviting the referees from Japan, 3 professors from Japanese universities who have engaged in the robotic competition in Kenya before. So they are the experts. So they are going to evaluate both competition and this technical session. Okay. All right. So I'm making a prototype to confirm the difficulty or design each tasks. So not to be very complex, not to be very easy. So this is just a video which I have taken. So for those who have not seen line following robot before, so this is the line following. Even though it is not perfect, it is still okay. So, but you get the concept, right? So what is done here is, yeah, I think in the training, I'm going to show this robot actually, but on the bottom of the robot, there is a sensor that can detect the color intensity, like black or white. So that, you know, so we are going to discuss the algorithm, but basically by using the sensor information, we can control the robot so that it won't divert from the track. So this is easy one, like a circle running. But for this one, it is more difficult because it involves the perpendicular corner, like a 90 degree. So this robot must turn 90 degree by detecting the corner, okay? So, you know, you can see that there is lots of back and forth, but I'm sure you will come up with a better idea, better algorithm than myself for now, okay? All right, this is a prototype. And yeah, I have been saying that we are going to organize a training. And initially, I expected to start it in August. But because of the election, because of the exam, finally, we are going to decide to have it in September. So basically, the competition will be held in October. So we must finalize the training during September. And these are the kind of content which should be covered in the training. Like the first element is electronics. Okay, there is a redundancy. So let's say the first item is electronics. To understand how to use a color sensor, line sensor, and the motor as actuator, and ultrasonic sensor to measure the distance. And of course, you need to learn how to program it. Of course, I assume that you have a basic knowledge of the programming, but we are going to organize a training so that you can improve your skills. Especially, you need to learn how to improve the control of a line following robot. And also, because it involves many functions, right? Because the line following must be done, but at the same time, you have to work on the object avoidance, obstacle avoidance, and the pick and place. So many functions must be integrated in one program. So you need to implement the state machine to manage the functions. So we are going to hold the training to work on it. Of course, since you're going to develop your robot, you need to learn how to design. So for example, the 3D CAD to design a mechanical components, and also you need to learn PCB design to create your own PCB. And definitely, after designing, you have to fabricate it. So using a 3D printer, laser cutter, you can create mechanical components from the 3D CAD. And also using a PCB milling machine, you can, your PCB will be made from the PCB, design software. Okay, so let me talk about the schedule for the training. We have not decided yet, so we are supposed to agree on the date of the training based on your schedule. So I understand the new semester of JQuat will begin next week. So if you know, you can tell me. And if you're a past student, you can tell me when the exam will end. So any comments? When the JQuat semester will begin? If you can answer, you can type on the chat box. And also the past week, okay, 31st August. And past the exam, are you sure when is the final date? So I'm going to update 31st August, Wednesday. Past the exam will end on any past students? No past student. Okay, I think we can get back to this topic later. But what I want to say is that we want volunteers who can teach these topics, like electronics and design, the publication. Yes, we have taught these topics in May or June previously by this team. But we still encourage you to volunteer if you're expert, if you have some knowledge. Don't hesitate to teach us. Okay. And I think after this meeting, I'm going to kind of ask you the questionnaire to ask for your suitable date. Okay. So I ask you to suggest the dates for the competition. As I mentioned, there are many topics which should be covered, and we have limited time. So we have to agree on the dates. Okay. So let me make it full screen. Okay, so finally, this is the final topic. The consumable should be supported. Okay, so consumables which is required to create your robot. And which we can support is raw materials like 3D boards, 3D printer, filaments, etc. And embedded boards, as I mentioned, Arduino boards, ESP32. And as explained, the Raspberry Pi could be used, but it is not recommended because of the complexity. So yeah, just for your information. And sensors should be definitely supported, color sensor, line sensor, ultrasonic sensors. And the PCB manufacturing cost, if you want to use maybe gearbox to manufacture your PCB, can be supported. But you can still use our own in-house equipment, like a PCB milling machine. And this is related to outsourcing. So outsourcing is possible, but it is conditionally supported. What I mean is, let me encourage you, all of you, to utilize our facility and make it by yourself, because this is also a part of a training. So we encourage you to make it by your own team. Okay, but if you have any special reason that you can't avoid to use this outsourcing company, we will discuss. Okay, so this can be conditionally supported with justification. And what we cannot support is this other stuff like book or transportation cost, etc. Okay, so maybe, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And there are some strict procedures to follow when making a purchase. So first, what is important is that you need to consult me beforehand. So don't buy items, before we agree. Okay. So you need to create a list of the items that indicates name of the item, quantity of the item, unit price of the item, and the total amount, and submit it to me so that we can agree, and I can give you go ahead. So if you have sufficient cash at hand, please buy it by yourself, and get the receipt and submit it to my office. Okay, so that you will be refunded. So you need a receipt to be refunded. That is important. And if you don't have sufficient cash, or if the price is too much, consult me so that we can make the payment on your behalf. Okay. And as I mentioned, you need a receipt, and the receipt should be addressed to Africa I-Japan Project bracket JICA. So this is a strict regulation you must follow. Okay. And the receipts must be submitted immediately after the purchase. So you can't hold it for a long time. Okay. If you fail it to submit it within a month of payment, we cannot refund it. Okay. So very important. You must submit it immediately. And you cannot buy the components or items on weekend. So everything must be purchased on weekdays from Monday to Friday. Okay. Because it will be described on the receipt. The date of the payment should be on weekdays. And once you make any purchase, please text or WhatsApp me to inform, because I'm checking the daily records of the transaction. So that is very important. And this is also important. The direct import is not allowed. Like by using the Jumia, you can import something from abroad, but it is not possible. So you need to use local suppliers like a Pixel or Nerocas. Okay. And finally, you need to submit the original receipt, not a PDF copy. So please make sure. So that's it for today. So I try to open the floor for questions, a Q&A. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So what will be the characteristics of the obstacles, especially the height?
Characteristics of the robot, or?
Obstacle, the obstacle.
Okay.
The obstacles.
Okay. I have not decided yet. I'm working on it. But what I'm supposing is a kind of plastic bottle of the maziwa, milk bottle. Yeah, so let me share my browser. Just a moment, please. Let me stop sharing and share desktop. You see? Yeah, this kind of object.
Okay, thank you.
I also have a question.
Yes, please.
Can a team have more than one robot to present?
No, only one robot, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I also have a question.
Yes, please.
Still riding on Michael's questions, what are the specifications for the objects that will be picked or on the last obstacle? Probably the width and length.
Okay. I'm sorry to say that I have not decided yet, but I can announce it next week, I hope. So basically, your robot are supposed to have kind of a hand, but this is not so complicated hand. Okay, and the object is very light, so it doesn't need high torque. So, but anyway, I will announce it next week. All right, thanks for the question. Something else?
I have a question
Yes, please.
concerning the track. Is the robot supposed to traverse the entire track from line following all the way to pick and place on the goal, or are we allowed to pick up the robot after it has completed one challenge?
It's all the way. So your robot, actually, this is one line, which is all the way connected to the goal. So from the start to the goal, all the lines are connected. So the intervention by human is not allowed. Is it clear?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
For the cost, things that can be supported, is there a cap for the cost of the things that we can buy?
Question again? I didn't get it.
Is there a maximum cap how much we can spend?
For the cost.
Yeah, for the materials. Yeah.
Okay, I honestly I have not decided yet. Do you have something in mind? Do you want to use very expensive materials, or do you want to use expensive electronics?
Yes, LiDAR.
Okay. Let me think about it. Because I see. Okay. Let me see. We will discuss and let you know. But my intuition is we can allow you to use expensive LiDAR, but maybe in the technical evaluation, if you can achieve the same function using a cheaper device, it will be much appreciated. Right? For example, for detecting the distance, you can use LiDAR, of course, but ultrasonic sensor, which is very cheaper, can be also used. So in this case, the ultrasonic sensor would be highly evaluated, I think. But I don't know, maybe, yeah, let us discuss within our organizer team, and I will let you know.
I also have a question. Do we get to keep our robots after the competition?
Keep, does it mean you want to bring it to your home, or your question is, are we exhibiting our robot?
No, after the robot, do they then belong to us, or do we give them off? Is I think I don't know whether that makes sense.
I see. That's important, interesting. Because in principle, we think we want to exhibit it in the display corner, especially for the winners team, like best robots. But maybe you want to bring it. You want to use it after the competition, right?
Yes.
I guess so. Yes. So, all right. This should be discussed, and we will give you feedback. Yeah, thanks for the interesting questions. More question, please. Okay. All right. I think it seems okay for now, but I'm going to add all the participants into the WhatsApp group. So if you have any questions, anytime you can ask the organizers. Okay. So I think we can close the meeting for now, unless someone has any comments. Okay, that's good. So the important thing is to fix the date, the schedule for the training. Okay, so we are going to continuously discuss it on WhatsApp group. Is that okay? Fine. So thank you for the participation and see you very soon on the campus. Have a good day.